Aries Girl Podcast. Hello, Zodiacs. Before we get into this week's episode, I just want to give credit where credit is due. First, let me give Stormy Steele her flowers for breaking record after record on TikTok with her sales. I believe that Stormy recently had 2 million in sales in a couple of hours. Congrats, Stormy. The Aries Girl Podcast wishes you continued success with your business ventures and hopes that you don't have to take any more mugshots, whether real or imaginary. Also, shout out to Dr. Melody Sherry Rogers for winning Reality TV Queen at the 11th Annual Reality TV Awards. She beat out nominees from all of the major networks, MTV, Bravo, and CBS. But let's continue with the Struggle Olympics after party, because this week's episode picks up there. This big D-convo portion of the Struggle Olympics after party was a complete bleep show, but here's what we learned. Through all of the yelling and everyone talking over each other, it seems as though Tisha got her freak on in college, and Martell apparently watched it. So if you're keeping score, according to Marty Marr, Tisha is a 304, and Martell is a self-proclaimed voyeur. Marceau gave Martell props on teaching him how not to leave his wife for a shareable side chick. I'm wondering if this was some shareable coleslaw or a different side dish. Destiny, the referee, tried to throw a flag on the play by telling Martell that either he or Marceau had to go, or both of them had to leave. Girl, what? No, sis. You started this crap, so finish it. But old Marty Marr stated that he didn't F Tisha when his boys did, because Marceau was fat and ugly at the time, and that Marceau is the bottom of the barrel. Then, Tisha told Marceau that she saved him, so that officially makes Tisha Captain Save a 304 in my book. Could someone please get Tisha fitted for a cape and some boots? She's a hero. And Destiny, in her disco ball finest outfit, said that Martell was wrong for bringing up Tisha's past. Perhaps she could have said that in scene, where it would have mattered, instead of in a confessional. Destiny decided to leave her Struggle Olympics after party. Girl, bye. Why couldn't she leave the girls' trip in the same fashion? As she walked off, Lance was chastised for not walking his girl to her car by Maurice and others, and I could only wonder who walked Maurice to his car and got lipstick all over him before he got that DUI. Also, I'm wondering if this is what respectful cheating looks like, since Lance is still married, has a newborn baby, and is hanging out with Destiny in front of his parents. I said what I said. Remember how Kimmy blasted Maurice in the season 3 reunion and said that he should leave if he was hanging out with one of his boys when he was cheating on his wife? I guess that doesn't apply here.
Flashback.
Going forward, I'm not leaving a party because somebody is cheating. No, I'm not.
So do you come home and then call the person that's getting cheated on?
No, you'll never hear me call somebody and say, hey man, or hey lady, your guy's cheating on you.
I don't disagree. I'm not saying that you would.
Okay.
What I am saying is that you don't sit and be complicit in it as far as finishing out the evening. Because I wouldn't want the person that I'm friends with to think that I think this is okay. Even after the words come out of my mouth, your actions speak louder than words.
I believe that actions speak louder than words as well.
I can't tell. Tisha went into confessional to blame Destiny for starting this ish. Kimmy wasn't happy about Marceau not defending Tisha while Martell aired her out about her promiscuity in college, but I'm sure that Kimmy still thinks that Martell is a good guy. Maurice tried to mansplain Martell's behavior to Chris Fletcher apparently. I'm just thankful that he didn't break out into a speech or sermon in order to do so. Here is a lesson to all haters and ops. If you want to link up with the other ops, it's best not to turn on one another. I mean, damn, do better. But first, I have a question. Why was Maurice doing the mute challenge while Martell was popping off and dragging Tisha and Marceau? Despite Martell being from Huntsville, Alabama, he was channeling Detroit and Eminem when he was popping off. I could just hear the intro to Lose Yourself playing as Martell went in on Marceau's looks and Tisha's vajayjay miles. Martell said that ish with his whole chest. It was like he only had one shot, or one opportunity, to seize everything he ever wanted in one moment, and he tried to capture it and not let it slip. I don't know if his palms were sweaty, knees weak, or arms were heavy. But Martell was dropping bombs on Marceau and Tisha, and I was low-key here for it, thinking the Scots would clap back, but they didn't. I mean, the Scott brothers claim the D by way of Flint, Michigan. I was expecting Maurice to instantly channel Big Meech from BMF, since he didn't break into a Maurice Luther King Jr. speech. But no, Momo Scott kept doing the Beyonce mute challenge. Instead of Big Meech, he was giving Big Peach. Like, dude, how do you let somebody drag your little brother like that without defending him? I was expecting some womb to the tomb, tag team type of Big Meech and Terry Flannery energy from the Scott brothers. But instead of Big Meech and Terry, it was giving Big Peach and Scary. Fake-ass BMF and fake-ass millionaires. Maurice, my dude, how do you defend Martel Holt over your own flesh and blood brother Marceau, by telling Chris that the two of them would work it out because they fight like brothers? Martel won this fight, and Maurice proved it by saying that Martel didn't have the receipts in his confessional, so by default, Maurice is saying that it happened, but it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So, Martel just can't prove it. Maurice, my dude, that was your opportunity to say that Martel was lying, but I digress. Let's get on to the next scene. Now, this second scene, at the jewelry store. For Marceau to get another ring was one for the love and marriage Huntsville history books. Seriously, what happened to his wedding ring in order to require it to be replaced? Marceau Scott, an alleged millionaire, seemed a little freaked out to spend $2,000 on a wedding band because he said they used to only cost $88. But the kicker in this scene is that Marceau said that wedding rings symbolized a sign of obedience to him. Tisha going into confessional admitting that Marceau is too comfortable not wearing his wedding ring and that it was adding to people being disrespectful towards their marriage was comical. Tisha, baby girl, no one disrespects your marriage more than your husband Marceau does, in my opinion, but tell yourself whatever you need to in order to get through each day and night. Sorry that your past 7 years have been tough and that you were almost not together, Tisha, but can Marceau tell us how long Maurice's first marriage was, if the Scotts have the longest tenured first marriages? Dude, your last name is Scott, not Kennedy and not Obama, but please keep going, because your delusions of grandeur are entertaining as hell. Now, my heart almost went out to Tisha when she pulled out her Candace Dillard Bassett cry angle to talk about her depression and dealing with people talking about her online. It also made me wonder if Carlos King got these people any media training or preparation to deal with public scrutiny. Let us not forget that Tisha talks cash money-ish to people she does know, right in their faces. I will never forget her telling Melody that she had a dark soul, so I can't feel sorry for her in this moment. So, Tisha, my dear, you seem to be able to dish out things you can't take, and let's not even get started on how Tisha's mom talks about people on the internet. Melody's mom, Miss Van, has much more class than Wanda, but imagine if Miss Van did to Tisha what Wanda does to Melody and her children. So sorry, Tisha, miss me with those tears and give Candace her cry angle back. Please explain to me why the Scotts are planning on apologizing to Destiny, because Destiny should be apologizing to the people who attended the Struggle Olympics, but thanks for gaslighting us, Tisha and Marceau, it was fun. But congratulations are in order for Marceau, realizing that if Martel would treat Melody, his former wife and mother of his kids, like crap, that they were no better. Better late than never, I guess. So let's move on to the next scene. Melody is making her rounds with every person that went on the girls' trip, and she wants feedback on the trip because that's what a hostess with the mostest does. Looks like Tisha is up next, and she was not prepared for Season 1 Melody to ask her about Maurice and his DUI. Yeah, Season 1 Melody is about her coins and her clapbacks, not field day activities from 6th grade masquerading as the Struggle Olympics. And just like I always preach that cheating is a choice and not a mistake, Melody told Tisha that getting behind the wheel of a car while intoxicated was also a choice. That blew up Tisha's attempt to whitewash Maurice's dumb decision as a mistake, not to mention the free Reese nonsense. Again, none of Tisha's degrees could help her out of this situation. In her confessional, she could barely show empathy for Melody losing her grandmother because of a drunk driver. What alcoholic drink is made with any flavor of red Kool-Aid? Tisha, stop capping for Maurice. Wait, maybe Maurice was doing Jell-O body shots off of the person he was with before he tried to drunk drive home to Kimmy. Is that what Tisha was trying to tell us? Like Mel said, Tisha is colorblind. How can she not see how red Maurice's lips are? It is obvious that some chick was on their escape traces of my lipstick kind of time with Momo Scott. He fits right in with Latasha and Tamika Scott. Melody should send Tisha Scott a Cash App request for that food and the tip after Tisha ducked and dodged Melody's questions and her part of the check. I didn't know millionaires dined and dashed like that, but whatever. I digress. Let's move on to the next scene. This fourth scene with Martell and Destiny was trash. It can be summed up by Martell blaming his actions on the heat and Destiny wanting an apology because she's always the victim. It all feels so fake, because the questions asked at the Struggle Olympics after party were pre-planned and typed out. Destiny and Martell knew what they were going to say and do. Nobody was fooled. So it's on to the next scene, where Marceau pretends to be a builder of residential homes by choice, and Chris Fletcher just happens to be in the neighborhood like Mr. Rogers. Marceau lied about doing commercial builds. Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't the Scotts banned from commercial? Which is why they are playing around with residential builds. But whatever, if he's going to play in my face, I'll play along because the episode is halfway over. Glad that Chris hired a couple of new agents and glad that Marceau is building contemporary houses. Unfortunately, having only one contemporary house in a traditional subdivision or neighborhood might be a tough sell, but that is their problem, not ours. But why does Marceau want Chris to try selling the house? I mean, doesn't Tisha have her real estate license along with Kimmy? If they are keeping the Scott secrets regarding Maurice's DUI in the family, why not run the real estate empire and keep the coins in the family? But again, whatever. Someone needs to give Chris better scripts or teach him how to segue between topics, because the switch between the topic of real estate and Destiny's Field Day, also known as the Struggle Olympics, was awkward as hell. We didn't need to bounce back to Martell and Destiny eating at the restaurant while the buttons on his shirt looked like they would pop off. So now, in addition to being Captain Save a 304, Tisha also teaches people how to respectfully cheat. Okay Martell, thanks for that info. But it seems as though you're leaving out Destiny, who is actually with a married man, whose mom was a side chick. Destiny, why don't you believe Martell? If he says it, it should be believed. Apparently, that's the new rule. Also, Destiny, I just crowned you the queen of disrespectful cheating, because nothing about cheating is respectful. And just like Melody dissolved the marriage and businesses with Martell, Marceau is apparently dissolving his friendship with Martell. Oh, I'm expecting another bitter breakup with Martell crashing out once again. Now the confessional with Martell was profound. He said that if a person is real needy, they'll act like they're your friend until they get something. Martell, my dude, how do you not see that you are describing yourself and Destiny? Let's move on to the final scene. Well, Melody did say that she was checking in with everyone after the girls' trip. I was low-key hoping that it wouldn't include Trisha, Destiny, and Stormy, because she did the world a favor and quit the show. But here's Melody meeting up with Trish. And it is so painful listening to and watching Trish partially unlocking her jaw to let partial words and sentences out when Melody asks her questions about how she's enjoying being in the group and who she has hung out with so far. Trish, we know that you were in Stormy's wedding. You are related to Chris Fletcher. You trained Destiny, and you were in Melody's marital home with Martell before the divorce was final, on some Netflix and chill narrative. I guess that's what the kids are calling adult extracurricular activities that initiate in the DMs. But we all know that Melody doesn't know all of this. But Trish, seriously, you're blaming quote-unquote people making things awkward as the reason you left the trip abruptly without saying goodbye to Mel. Yeah, boo-boo, it sounds like you smashed Martell. Melody told Trish that she made things awkward by not being honest with Stormy and Destiny, and asked Trish if she thought it was awkward to come to a house to train Martell when she didn't know him. When Melody tripped Trish up on what house she went to in order to train Martell back in 2020, she knew Trish was full of ish. And Trish, Miss Master 304ologist, why were you training someone in a strange home during the pandemic inside? Why not be outside and social distance? Oh, and Trish said she wasn't with Ken at the time when Melody asked her about it. I smell a lie. Yeah, Mel, there's no girl code when it comes to Trish, because she could have pulled you to the side and told you about the situation between her and Martell before you all went on that trip. There's no girl code, and these 304s aren't loyal. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to support the channel so that you never miss an episode of the Aries Girl podcast. And I will see you on the next video. Until then, take care.